Okay, good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. I hope everybody's feeling good this morning. My name is Haziq Ali. I'm a revenue acceleration coach, a self esteem development fanatic, starting with my own. And our whole purpose here every single morning is helping you go further, faster with less effort. I happen to be in the C suite of an Inc. 5000 fastest growing company in America. And we've been blessed and fortunate to do that a couple years in a row. Matter of fact, it looks like we're on course to do it for a third year. And that's pretty exciting, right? But what is your role in helping your company to do something similar? What is your role in helping your idea manifest in a way that other people come to you? Not you having to chase people, but other people coming to you, right? If your marketing efforts suck, I'm going to tell you one reason why. It's probably because of your mindset about marketing. Yeah, yeah. What's up, Hakeem? Good morning, King. What's up, Nicole? Hope everybody's feeling good this morning. Listen, if you haven't done so yet, this is a good time to turn on your notifications. Don't just comment. Even though that's good to do too. Right now, please like this, because that's telling social media, whichever one you're looking at. I don't know if you're watching me on Facebook, if you're watching me on YouTube. Some of you are checking in from LinkedIn. Whichever direction you're coming from, make sure that you turn on your notifications because all I really want to say is they don't really care about us. Anyway, if your marketing efforts ain't getting what it is you want to get out of it, maybe it's time to reassess things a little bit. Is that fair to say? Yeah, it's check-in time. Let them know what city you're from. And a lot of the most savvy entrepreneurs have kind of figured out the basics, if they've been learning through observation, et cetera, so forth. But maybe that's a good place to start if you're trying to grow your marketing efforts. Maybe it's time to double check our basics. Like, are you really looking at content marketing? Are you providing valuable information instead of just pitching your product all the time, pitching your service all the time? I don't care if you're talking about Whole Foods, IKEA, I don't care if you're talking about IBM, Microsoft. What you're starting to see is that this is the most effective way to market. You'll see them putting out white papers and blogs, and you'll Google and you'll see all kinds of. You may want to call this engagement marketing because that's the focus. Why don't you somebody type that in the comments? Engagement marketing, because engagement with your audience is the real goal here. What you want to do is get going in a way that they will engage with you. Yeah, young Simone checking in from Jamaica. I ain't mad at that. I think my brother's still out there, joint. I need to see if I can connect y'all. Yeah, crystal clear in the house. Let's go. Let's go. What's up, Ebony? Good morning. Good morning. Another one besides engagement marketing is making sure you're consistent and persistent. A lot of times they used to talk about this 7 times rule, that the customer had to be exposed to your product or your service 7 times before they even notice. Well, in today's world, we're so bombarded. I'd multiply that 7 by another 7, So now we at like damn near 50. And, I just think that's a good way for you to think about it. I mean, does your perfect customer see you anywhere close to 50 times yet? What have you done to make it so that you're crossing their consciousness? I mean, how strong is your follow-up game? 50 times? It really gives one pause. It really gives you an idea of how you should be thinking about this thing. And then the last one I'll say before I get into these 5 is, are you using social media effectively? How effectively are you using social media? Are you paying to play so you can get the most out of it? Are you encouraging interaction? Like when you make your post on Instagram, how often do you give a call to action? Like tag 5 people that need this, or share this with somebody, or hey, good morning, everybody. Say it back, or which one of these pictures is your favorite, et cetera, so forth. What are you doing to encourage engagement and interaction in your social media? Some things to think about, right? Because when you do all of this stuff that I'm giving you, even though it sounds really simple, you're going to find that your marketing starts to increase exponentially, unless you're boring, right? Because people these days have the attention span of a fruit fly, right? Unless they're fully engaged, unless they're fully entertained by your marketing, they're going to end up tuning you out. And I know that that's a sad way to put it, but it's true, y'all. So here are a few really cool tips that you can use to kind of avoid putting them to sleep. Everybody ready? Everybody ready? All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. The first one is focus on their really, really hot buttons. Focus on their really, really hot buttons. A lot of times your potential customer has dozens of problems. Obviously, you're an entrepreneur, so you can solve problems. But here's my question for you. What are the problems that keep them up at night? Huh? What are the problems that keep them in pain? Because the bigger the pain, the more motivated they are to solve it, right? The more excited they are to dive into your potential solution. All your marketing then should be focused on these, not crap that's mildly irritating, not stuff that's kind of interesting to them, right? We ain't talking about stuff that's going to make them curious. We're talking about stuff about which they are serious. Am I making sense? We're all busy. Our time is precious. Where are you going to spend your precious time? On some article? Like let's say your job is to hire people. Are you going to focus your job? Are you going to focus your time on some article that's telling you how to reduce your paperwork in HR, right? Or are you going to focus on some article that gives you tips to make sure you don't hire some knucklehead in the first place, right? And here's the other thing. Don't put out content that's focused on the features of your product. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. You want your content to focus on the benefits, right? You might love all the analytics in some new software, but if you don't relate that to a pain point they have, if you don't relate that to an intense desire, that sounds like gobbledygook to us. Oh, yeah, the Fair Credit Reporting Act is an amazing piece of legislation. But if you don't help me understand what that has to do with the problem I'm experiencing, you're wasting your time. Like you might as well not even said the letters. You get what I mean? Sell them what they want, right? And then give them what they need. That might be a good one for you to type into your comments. Sell them what they want and then give them what they need. And then give me a share. That's the first one, right? Sell them what they want and then give them what they need. See, how hot are the buttons you're focused on? Here's the second one, y'all. Sharp hooks. Sharp hooks. How sharp are your hooks, right? Because no matter how much effort you put into the marketing content, they're going to swipe right past you if that hook don't grab them. Gary Vaynerchuk had this book. He called it Jab, 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 Right Hook. Jab, 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 right hook. You need the right hook, baby. The jab was give, give, give. And then his right hook, he was like, that's the one where you ask them for something, right? You want to have a hook that's so strong, a headline that's so strong, a title that's so strong that people are like, I need to know about that. I play with that a lot in my newsletters every week. I'll play with different headlines. You got to stay away from clickbait. You got to make sure you're ready to deliver what it is you put in the headline, but you need to draw them in. It needs to feature a pain point of theirs or a really strong desire of theirs. Compare these two beginnings. Let's say one is like, hey, would you like to know 3 strategies that'll lower your taxes? Or let's talk about how financial planning can help people. You see that? Which one y'all think is stronger, right? Let's talk about how tax planning can help the average person versus if I say, hey, here go 3 strategies that will lower your taxes right now going into this next tax season. You get what I mean? All right, here's the third one I got for you. So that second one was use sharp hooks. Use sharp hooks. Here's the third one. Everybody with me? Here's the third one. Pump up the personality. Pump up the personality. You're an entrepreneur. So a lot of times you're the face of your company. I'm going to tell you what, you're at least the face of your own brand. And if people experience the real you, then what happens is they learn to like you. They learn to trust you. They're getting to know you, right? If they like you and know you and trust you, that translates into them knowing, liking, and trusting your brand. But if you're going to make this happen soon as possible, you got to be human, right? You can't be like some robotic kind of like logo. You hear what I'm saying to you? When you're writing a blog, when you're writing an article, when you're doing a really nice post on LinkedIn or Facebook, think conversation, not dissertation. Think conversation. When you're doing videos, it's even more important. These reels, these TikToks, they've made it so that people are literally shrinking their own attention spans. They're starting to condition themselves to want content that is quicker and quicker and quicker. Soon, you'll have to talk to them in 5-second clips. I ain't lying. Listen to me. I talk fast, you know. So maybe I can make something like that work. But what about you, right? Are you naturally enthusiastic? Are you naturally extroverted, right? Maybe you aren't. But even if you aren't, I guarantee you there's something about what you do that gets you excited. This is why it's important to record yourself. This is why going live is beautiful, because you can watch back the tape. You can delete the whole video later if you don't want, if you don't like it. But my point is, there's something about what you do that gets you excited. I dare you pump up the personality. I dare you focus on those parts that get you passionate. Because when you show your audience you're passionate about your business, when you show your audience you're passionate about the problem it is you solve, it makes them eager to connect with you, right? When you show you're eager to connect with us, it makes us eager to connect with you. And don't be afraid to use a little humor. You know, on my TED Talk, it's wild because people were coming up to me asking me, was I a comedian and all of that? But everybody told the guy when we were done, like, oh, that guy right there was my favorite. Oh, that guy. Humor makes you more relatable. Humor makes you more memorable. Am I making sense, y'all? Don't be afraid to use a little humor. Here's number 4. Everybody with me? Watch your language. Watch your language. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? Do I mean don't curse? Actually, no. You know, if you naturally talk with a couple curse words every now and then, I ain't trying to cramp your style. I want you to be who it is you are, because that relates to number 3 with that pumping up the personality. Now, do it within reason. Be smart. I'm not saying have no discipline, but I'm just pointing out that ain't what I mean by watch your language. What I mean by watch your language this morning is watch all the techno babble. Watch all the techno babble. What do I mean? I mean all this geeky language, you know, all these terms, you know, that only people in your world know, right? I'm talking about all this industry jargon, all this language that your audience ain't gonna you're in this, man. You ain't new to this. You true to this, right? We're all guilty of this. You know, I start talking about sales funnels or ROI or CRM. I'm gonna lose people. You know, so what I try and do, even though that's second nature to me, is I try and dumb this stuff down. I try to find lowest common denominator. You know why Master P blew up? Because he would rap with lowest common denominator. Like people ain't gonna know, they ain't gonna understand all these big words that like a Nas would use. So what would Master P be like? He'd be like, make them say, oh. Nah, right? It's the lowest common denominator. A little child can say that. And that's what you want to do with your marketing. You want to make sure that you're speaking on such a level that everybody can be reached. Beware of using terms and acronyms that nobody outside your industry would know. And we ain't saying dumb it down. We're not saying don't respect their intelligence. We just saying keep in mind your target market don't know all the stuff you know. They don't have your experience. They don't have your knowledge. They don't have your stories. So what you want to do is break that thing down. Am I making sense? And that's the last one I got for you. Here's the last one I got for you. Number 5 is use stories. If you're in the Kaizen Academy, then you know how big we are on stories. We have so many trainings on stories and story selling. You got to use it. I want to tell you, they've done MRIs, they've done brain scans that talk about how your brain engages way more parts of itself when it's listening to a story. A good story makes the point a lot more memorable, right? A good story engages their brains. They start to sink in with the storyteller's brain waves, while the storyteller's trying to capture the audience's imagination. They're trying to capture the story's meaning, and it makes them sync up, right? So all I'm saying is, instead of putting your market to sleep, you know, instead of being boring, try using a story. If you ain't a good storyteller, maybe you Google how to tell a great story, or you can join the Kaizen Academy and let me kind of mentor you through some of this stuff. If your marketing isn't getting results, again, Maybe join the Kaizen Academy. The first class that I make everybody take in there is this Revenue Acceleration Master Plan. Many people have told me that that course alone is more powerful than the MBA that they got, or and it's just because I believe that a lot of your teachers in school are not really living what it is they're teaching. You know, we're on the front lines of capitalism right now in real time, getting the results that other companies want to get. And so maybe we're starting to figure something out about the formula. Does that make sense? So reach out to me. But even if you can't afford $40 a month or whatever, you know what I mean? Cool, man. Go back through the YouTube channel, you know, study this stuff, write it down. And then on Free Coaching Friday, just come back and ask me questions. That's what I'm here for. But what I know is that you really ain't going to pay attention until you pay a couple of dollars. We know that. But here's the bottom line, and then we'll get out of here. 5 E's, y'all. Educate, entertain, excite, engage, and enthusiasm. Educate, entertain, excite, engage, and have enthusiasm. Those are the 5 E's. And if you do this, you can, here's a 6th E, encourage them to take the next step, and they're going to be right with you. I hope that's fun. I hope that's fun. Everybody with me? All right, it's affirmation time. Let's get it. Let's get it. If you ain't joined a newsletter, this is a good time to do it. Go to millionaireminded.com. Go to millionaireminded.com and put your name and your email in the box. And just like that, you'll be registered in the world's most incredible newsletter for entrepreneur mindset. The most incredible newsletter in the world for entrepreneur mindset. So make sure you get busy. Make sure you get busy and share it. If you didn't read the last one yet, make sure you go check it out and share it with an entrepreneur. All right, repeat after me. Say it like you mean it, y'all. I am so happy and grateful that money comes to me easily and frequently and in